We live in a world that focuses on consumerism and consumption. The advertisers and the marketers want us to own these things because if we don't own them, we are somehow less than, or we're missing out. We need these things if we want to be happy. Well, that is all just marketing tactics. We can live with less stuff if we can see through all of that. And in this video, I'm going to give you 5 easy ways that you can live with less stuff that might not be immediately obvious, but hopefully they'll be of help to you. So my first tip is to immerse yourself in the real world. Spend less time on social media, less time on the internet where we're bombarded with advertising and marketing campaigns, and get out there in the real world where you can actually live. This has been one of the best things for me to stop myself from seeing all these adverts and all these lovely, wonderful, good-looking things I can have, all these things that might improve my life in some way. That's not the real world. That's all just designed to suck us in, keep us wanting more, keep us feeling less than in life. Whereas when I go out in the real world and do things like going out in nature, spending time building experiences and memories with my husband, that's been a real focus for me this year, is investing my money in experiences rather than things. If we spend more time in the real world and immersing ourselves in experiences, then stuff becomes less important. The material things don't matter as much because those connections with others and with the real world matter more. The next tip is to practice delayed gratification. So this is putting off those impulse purchases, taking a step back and not pressing the buy now button straight away. One of the best things I've learned to do this is to put my items in my save for later basket and see how I feel a week or 2 later. Sometimes when it comes to books, especially for me, I can feel an urgency to buy them, and actually when I put them in my save for later basket, that urgency wanes over time. I find that I don't need that book right away. It's not going anywhere, and I find again it can come back to this maybe scarcity mindset or thinking that something is going to go out of stock. We feel we need to get it now, otherwise we're never going to get it again. And more often than not, that's not the case. We can find what we need somewhere. The next tip I have is to identify your danger items. And what I mean by this is, what are those things that you are more likely to buy on impulse? For me, like I just said, it's books. For you, it might be jewellery, beauty items, clothing. Identify what those items are, because when the adverts come up online or when you're scrolling online for those things, just take a moment to think about how you're feeling. Are you starting to get that fear of missing out? Are you getting pulled into needing to own this item because you can't possibly live without it? When you're more aware of what your danger items are, you get better at tuning into what it's like in that experience of shopping online and where you might need to be careful. Now, this next tip is going to baffle some people perhaps, but hear me out. My next tip to own less stuff is to watch haul videos. Now, you might think, why on earth would I watch haul videos? Because they're just going to tempt me to buy stuff. But for me, I found the opposite is true. One of the reasons I do like watching haul videos is that I get to live vicariously through someone else going out on a big spend and see what they've bought. I get to enjoy that experience. But another thing happens as well, because the longer the video goes on for and the more stuff that the person pulls out of their bags and shows, I actually sit there thinking, this is just stuff. This is just clutter. And so whilst I enjoy watching the person going through their haul, I get to a point where I start kind of zoning out and thinking, this is consumerism in action. This is someone who's got pulled into buying. I'm just able to see a lot clearly the impact of marketing and making people feel that they need certain things. And I can do that without actually having bought anything. The next tip I have is to exile your items. And this is about, if you've got some items that you're unsure of, put them in a box, put them away, out of sight, out of mind, maybe in your loft, or if you've got a garage, put them in the garage, just somewhere where you won't see them and you might actually forget about them. And give it a few months and see whether you think much about these things, whether you feel that you need to use them in that period of time, and then come back to them, open your box again and go through them and see whether it is actually time to get rid of them. And a lot of people find that when they put things away, out of sight, out of mind, they don't actually think about them that much, and they find that they can live without them. They didn't need them in all of that time. And actually sometimes they might go back to the box and see that, okay, yeah, I do want to keep that thing, but there are probably more things in this box that I can actually get rid of and donate to charity. And I have a bonus tip for you, and that is make a list. If you are going to a shop, which is a potential danger zone where there are going to be lots of things that you might want to buy, make a list of what you want to get in that shop and stick with it. So I guess there's 2 parts of this. You need to make a list, but then you need to practice some willpower or even that delayed gratification. There are so many temptations promotions in these shops, vying for our attention. It's all very psychological. Things are placed strategically to try and get you to buy them. But my list is my bond. It's what I'm sticking to. It keeps me on the straight and narrow, if you like. So if you find that you're someone who can potentially easily get tempted, write a list down and make a commitment to stick to it. Now, decluttering was a great way for me to learn to live with less stuff because I got rid of so many things. And if you want to learn some of the things that I learned from decluttering nearly 10 years worth of stuff, then check out the video that's on the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.